The battlefield was quiet for the first time in hours. Smoke coiled up from shattered tanks and smoldering trees, painting the horizon in shades of ash and ember. The alien patrol moved cautiously through the wreckage, their clawed feet leaving tracks in the scorched mud. At their center, shackled and bruised, walked a lone human prisoner. Corporal Mason Hale had been caught after their forward base fell. Now, his hands were bound behind his back with humming restraints, his uniform torn, face streaked with grime. And yet, he walked with a steady, unnerving calm. The squad leader, Lieutenant HFY, studied him as they marched. Her people had fought humans for nearly a decade, and every briefing described them the same way. Clever, stubborn, dangerous when cornered. But this one was different. He wasn't pleading. He wasn't silent with dread. He was watching. When they reached the ravine where their transport awaited, HFY ordered a halt. The night was too still. Something about his gaze, cold, calculating, set her crest on edge. She stepped closer, her translator whispering her words into his ear. "Why aren't you afraid, human?" Mason looked up, his lip curling into something between a smirk and a snarl. "Because fear's for those who still think they can survive." Her frill twitched. That wasn't the answer she expected. "You're our prisoner," she said. "Your armies are broken. Your cities burn. Do you not understand your position?" "I understand it perfectly," Mason replied. "I'm right where I need to be." A ripple of unease passed through her squad. His tone wasn't defiant, it was certain. Icy certain. She leaned in, lowering her voice. "Then explain it to me, so I know whether to execute you now or later." He glanced past her, toward the dark horizon. "You've all made the same mistake. You think winning a war is about killing soldiers and burning towns. But you never stop to ask what happens when the ones you didn't kill start watching." The ground shuddered. A low rumble, at first mistaken for distant artillery, rolled under their feet. The aliens glanced around, weapons raised. The ravine walls vibrated with a deep, growing hum. Mason smiled, and this time it wasn't forced. "There it is." HFY barked orders, her troops scattering to defensive positions. "What have you done, human?" "Me," Mason said. "I surrendered. I let you march me here. I let you broadcast my capture. And now—" He tilted his head to the stars just as faint blue streaks began cutting through the clouds. "They know exactly where to land." From the sky, shadows descended, sleek dropships with their engines cloaked until the last second. The first one struck a kilometer away, throwing dust and fire into the air. The second landed at the ravine's edge, hatches hissing open as Terran Marines poured out in exosuits. The aliens panicked, firing blindly into the smoke. But the humans moved like a tide, disciplined, precise, relentless. HFY's troops fell one by one. She swung her plasma blade at a charging Marine, only to have her strike caught mid-swing by Mason himself. His restraints now gone, released by a timed signal only he could have sent. "You wanted fear?" he whispered to her as the battlefield erupted. "This is what comes instead." Minutes felt like seconds. The ravine became a killing ground, the transport ripped apart by rockets before it could lift off. The few aliens who survived scrambled into the forest, their disciplined formation gone. HFY found herself pinned under a fallen strut, her weapon lost, her crest damp with the acrid mist of defeat. Mason crouched beside her, one knee on the charred ground. His face was smeared with soot, but his eyes, those steady, pale eyes, never wavered. "You asked why I'm not afraid," he said almost gently. "Fear doesn't win wars. Planning does. Patience does. You taught us to fight like you. Hit, retreat, strike from the shadows. But we learned to fight like us again." She swallowed, her throat dry. "What will they do with me?" "That depends," Mason said, standing. "Maybe they'll trade you. Maybe they'll let you run back and tell your generals what you saw. Either way." He looked toward the burning horizon. "This was never about me walking out alive. It was about you not walking away the same." By dawn, the dropships were gone, leaving only their scars behind. Human forces pushed forward, their lines reinforced, their resolve sharpened by the trap that one man set. And far from the smoke and ruin, in command halls light years away, the Vaith generals replayed the intercepted footage. A lone prisoner standing calm in the face of capture, whispering a sentence that echoed in every translation. Because fears for those who still think they can survive.